I enjoy listening to Sam Harris. I don't agree with a lot of his views. I think that he has Trump derangement syndrome to a massive degree, but he's a very intelligent man. One thing that he said recently that I vehemently disagreed with was the fact that many Americans are shirking the necessary role in terms of paying their taxes. The rich are trying to obfuscate where their funds are and pay as little tax as possible. Yeah, you know why? Because we are overtaxed as a society, and more so because government absolutely wastes the money. For example, in Sweden, they have higher taxes than the US actually, but people don't mind paying them so much because they truly do believe in the government and the fact that the government is going to use it for the greatest public good. The same is not true here in the United States. When leftists are demanding our taxes and spending it on such things as diversity, inclusion, and equity officers at university, on people there to enforce Title IX, on all sorts of wasted things like transgender reassignment surgeries in prison, whatever it might be, this money is absolutely being wasted. And when I see this taking place, it makes me far less apt to want to pay in to the government. And Sam complained that people are moving from California to cheaper states, particularly because of tax reasons. Part of the reason is California is absolutely atrocious in the way that they're spending money. The more money that you give to government, the bigger the government gets, the more bloated they become, the more money that they need, and the further they raise taxes. And this is what's happened in California. California recently suffered $31 billion, an estimated $31 billion in COVID fraud that they sent out. There were criminals in jail that received COVID cards for unemployment insurance. It's positively asinine to say, hey, you need to pay your fair share to Californians as they see their money literally go up in flames to criminals and criminal syndicates that have outgamed the system. And the same lax controls that exist everywhere in government that are less prevalent in private industry don't need to be supported with my tax money. This is why I left California, a legal way for me to pay fewer taxes. More of that money goes into my pocket. All the money that is wasted on all the regulations, and Sam thinks that we Americans should be paying more taxes. How about if the government just learns to spend less money, but that goes opposite of what people get elected to do? The Democrats get elected on the backs of the unions, where they are negotiating with them on the basis that they are going to fund their re-election campaigns. They give the unions what they want. The unions fund their campaigns. The Democrats then favor the unions with their legislation, so the money goes back to them and they up the cost for everybody else, and it's just a massively corrupt thing where one hand washes the other, and they are just taking in more and more advantage of the average taxpayer. This is why many people shirk paying taxes. This is the libertarian point of view. Look, if my tax money is going to pay for national parks, I'm game. If it's going to pay for national defense, absolutely. If it's going to fund public schools that are teaching science and children how to get along and providing a service where the parents can go out and be productive rather than staying at home with the kids, I'm down with that. But when you start inserting critical race theory into the school, I'm paying for my country and those students to be poisoned with this hatred of America, with the hatred of anybody that dares to stand up and have a different point of view. I don't want to pay for social justice warriors to be created in the laboratory that is the public school system of California and Washington and Oregon. No, thank you, Sam. That's why many people are leaving the state, moving elsewhere, and trying to minimize their own personal tax burden so that they might enjoy their lives rather than the government consuming and wasting the money. I don't know what's wrong with this point of view. If you guys have a thought, by all means, leave it below. Tell me how I'm mistaken. If you like this video, share it, thumb it up, turn that like button blue, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on the subject. I'm always game to hear how I got something incorrect. Peace out.